Hi, this is Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of RegAlytics, with your update on this week's 31,934 alerts. Quick announcement, I will be in Charlotte tomorrow speaking at the Risky Women event on the topic of artificial intelligence and risk. If you're in Charlotte and want to come, I dropped the registration link down below. Check it out and come join us. And yes, men are welcome. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. We are diving back into the One Big Beautiful Bill, and this is episode 3 of my OBBB breakdown. Today, I'm going to focus on chapter 5 of the OBBB, titled Ending Green New Deal Spending, Promoting America First Energy, and Other Reforms. When you hear that title or see the repeal of electric vehicle credits and all these so-called Green New Deal subsidies, you might assume that the Trump administration is going anti-clean energy, but that's not exactly the full story. First, Section 70521 extends the Clean Fuel Production Credit. So background here, there's a bunch of clean energy producers out there like biofuel, ethanol, and even sustainable aviation fuel. They had been relying on a tax credit that was supposed to expire in 2027, but now the One Big Beautiful Bill runs it through 2029. It also tightens some rules. So there's less credit, for example, for imported feedstocks from other countries, and more rewards for using clean, domestically sourced materials. It also includes carbon negative fuels like those made from ag waste or wood chips. This is interesting because in the old regime, credits were granted not by what they were, but whether they met certain standards. And with the One Big Beautiful Bill, it officially calls out some of these new technologies for the first time. Next is Section 70522. Carbon capture. This section maintains the tax credit for capturing and storing CO2, but says if you're a foreign influence entity, think Russia, China, or Iran, you're out. Then we get to Section 70523, which changes how companies account for drilling and development costs like exploration or pre-construction. These costs now have to be added back into the financial reporting, and it's a technical change to the alternative minimum tax. But it basically means that energy developers, whether fossil or clean, will see a smaller tax break on those early project expenses. Section 70524 is big, but trying to simplify it is hard. But basically, it now allows for pass-through corporate structures for energy projects in hydrogen storage, carbon capture, advanced nuclear, hydropower, and geothermal. Previously, these cool tax strategies were not available for this type of tech. So now investors can get involved with less hassle, and this is going to open the door for capital markets to get serious about these alternative energy sources. Section 70525 is weird. I knew nothing of this, but apparently there's diesel in the world that is dyed the color red, and it is dyed red specifically so that it is separated out as fuel that is not taxed. You can buy dyed fuel for off-road vehicles, specifically like tractors for farms. But now, in the event a farmer finds out that the dyed diesel she bought was taxed, she's allowed a tax refund. Now, Section 70531 is a big one. This section kills the $800 de minimis import exemption for commercial shipments starting in July of 27. What does that mean? Well, right now, all of those cheap clothes, plastic toys, household stuff from China that you're used to getting for under $800, they come in a duty-free loophole. And unless there's a workaround, anything, regardless of value, is soon to be taxed. And this is going to change e-commerce in a big way, because today, if someone buys, say, $1,000 of goods, the seller is essentially breaking it into 2 shipments of 500, so it comes into the U.S. duty-free. This is for fast fashion like Temu and other gadgets and gizmos. And to put it in perspective, over 1 billion de minimis shipments have entered the U.S. in just 2023, and most are from China. So why the July 1st, 2027 start date? Well, right now, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection cannot currently process or inspect the billions of small packages coming in under this de minimis threshold. So they have to ramp up and get ready to enforce it. And that, my friends, is it this week for RegAlytics. We have the global supply chain of the world's regulatory alerts in one very easy to use place. If you need a solution for anything related to regulation, give us a call.